Good evening, this is Nick Inman from VolumeProfileTrader.com on Tuesday, January 31st, and covering the S&P here. That's the only thing I'm going to cover tonight, just pointing out what the market's doing and basically where I see opportunity. And frankly, unless if something happens soon, I think there's more opportunity to the downside for a potential trade than to the upside. And the reason why is because you can see throughout the month of January, we've had a steady uptrend, but now it's gone from an uptrend to more of a sideways consolidation. And what we're seeing now, if I zoom in even more, is off the point of control, which is, from 1307 up to 1310, which is where we closed, but we are forming a potential lower high at these levels. Now, this is just an hourly chart, so it's really nothing too significant. However, if we do start to break down and really press the 1300 level and not really get a bounce, if any bounce is, say, up to 1305, maybe 1307, and we start to fail, then, and I'll just draw it out to give you an idea. Okay, here we go. So if it just, starts to roll over and doesn't really give us a bounce, I would expect some selling pressure to really force this thing lower. Test the buying tail from Monday, 1296 or so, that was the low. And if we start to get below that, then this thing, potentially, let me zoom back out. Potentially, it could come back down to 1275. That's the value area low for the month of January, and it was an important level. We were consolidating. We broke above that level, tested it, and then continued to the upside. So this 1275 level matters. Likewise with 1288, that's another level, 1288 to 1285. To look out for, but it appears the bigger picture is the market is making a short-term top, and we're going to go test lower levels. The way to negate that and to expect higher prices is to see more price action above 1310 or so, and if it can stay there, it makes some bounce, and every time it comes back to 1310, it's bought and then goes and tests 1316 and starts to trade higher, then, that's your clue that this market's going to, make another leg higher. But for now, this is pretty good volume that's occurred, and we're bound to make a move one way or the other. I want you to be involved in the move, whichever way we do go. So if there's some downward pressure, don't be hesitant to take a position to the short side if that's something that you want to do. Looking at it on a daily chart, you can see we have made a very nice run, but we could also see some type of pullback, and 1275 on the bigger chart, it's right at these levels, and what do markets do? You break out and then you test the breakout, and then we'll probably see some type of consolidation from these current levels down to 1276 or so. And once we get down to 1276, then your upside is going to be back towards 1325 to 1330. That would be your upside target with expectations of a potential move higher. So, really, we're in a, I said the past couple of days, we're in a consolidation type market where you're trading the boundaries, and we're eventually going to get a move, and if we do, and it's to the upside, stay long, add to your positions. You should be, generally speaking, lightly exposed to the market. You should definitely have some positions, especially if they're working, but it's important to realize if your position isn't working, then it's okay to ditch it and to look at basically putting your money elsewhere, whether that's, that could be cash or another name. Something like Alpha Natural Resources, unless this bounces and starts going, this looks like it's going to roll over and break through this level. So just be aware of that. But something like American Express is doing fairly well. MasterCard doing fairly well. Dell doing fairly well. So there are names that are doing good and are performing to the, still performing and still making new highs, but those are the names that you want to be long. And if you're not long those names, then perhaps it's time to convert some more shares, especially if you're losing money, to cash and reassess where your money is, and is it performing in names that look like they should be outperforming. And if you are, and enjoy the ride higher, because stocks should be going higher. But short term, expect some type of correction. So anyways, short, but I hope it's to the point. There's really, unless if you're day trading the market, there really isn't much to do. And so, I mean, unfortunately, one other thing, Apple made a new high today, except for, relative to the after hours. When it announced earnings, it got up to 468, but this looks good, and it's probably going to slowly trickle higher. So, anyways, I will talk to you tomorrow.